Today, we're going beneath the surface, right? By the end of this episode, you'll understand why all your efforts to stop, they haven't worked. And why the struggling keeps coming back over and over again. And what's really driving the behavior you can't control. And it isn't about more willpower. It's about real healing. And with that being said, let's get into it. When most men hear conversation about sex, they immediately assume the problem is desire. Too much of it, not enough control, too little discipline. So the focus become, I gotta stop doing this. I gotta try harder, get more control. But what if sex isn't the first problem? What if sex is the loudest symptom that something is way more deeper? Most men don't struggle because they want sex. They struggle because sex became the place they go to feel something else. Now, I talk to men who swear they need more discipline. And to be quite honest, some of you do need more discipline. And I'm just being honest. Some of you do. But a lot of them go around, and a lot of men come to me and they be like, hey, Pastor, hey, listen, I can't stop this habit. And if I could just stop, if I could stop smoking, stop drinking, stop cheating, stop this, stop that, everything would just be fine in my life. The guy who's been trying to quit porn for 10 years, he think it's about willpower. And let me be honest, the man who keep going from woman to woman to woman to woman, he think it's about variety. And the one who can't stay faithful, his problem is he feels he just has more opportunities. Yeah, but here's what's telling. The men most confident, they understand their struggle and usually haven't scratched the surface. They're treating the symptom like it's a disease. And then they're wondering why nothing changes. Now, meanwhile, the man who finally got free, he'll tell you it was really never about the sex. The new believer thinks victory is about more Bible reading. The man who's been free for years knows it's about getting your wounds healed. And the one white-knuckling, think he's winning. But the one who surrendered, he know real freedom and what it feels like. You see the difference? Because see, surface level understanding will produce surface level solutions. And you'll hear things like, just stop looking, just pray more, get more accountability, get you a partner, get someone to call you every day. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad advice, right? It's just incomplete. Because scripture constantly shows something deeper. Because see, when the heart is empty, desire looks for something to fill it. When your identity is unclear, your identity desires and looks for validation. And when wounds go unhealed, desire looks for relief. And the book makes this very clear. Sex was never designed to carry the weight of identity, comfort, or worth. When men load sex with these expectations of their value and their identity, it eventually collapses. And to be quite honest with you, it's going to take your peace. But most men never dig deep enough to see this. See, we're too busy fighting behavior. We're missing the bruises underneath. See, Christ didn't call men to restraint. He invites us to restoration. Not changing what you do, but healing while we do what we do. See, a confident man will go and say, I just need to stop. But see, a wise man will ask, what am I really looking for? So now, speaking of asking, I have some questions to ask, and these are your questions for this week. Number one, what does sex provide you beyond the pleasure? Honestly. I just really want you to think about it. What pleasure do you get from sex? What else does it provide after the pleasure? Just think about it. Number two, What emotion or need usually shows up right before the temptation? Yeah, what I mean. Like, what happened? What feeling? What's taking place right before you have this urge? Besides her nibbling on your ear and you getting that message. Let me ask this question. What caused you to send the message or entertain the message? Answer that question. And lastly, if sex wasn't available, where would the need go? What would you do then if the sex wasn't available? Now, I'm pretty sure some of you are going to say, well, I'll just masturbate. Well, let me help you out. Masturbation is a sin. Yes, masturbation is a sin, and it's a form of witchcraft. We'll get into that later. So listen, there's no rush to fix anything. I'm just trying to get you to notice a pattern right now. You know, men who are the most confident about their struggle, they often understand it the least. Remember I said that 2 episodes ago. Take a breath. Pause. I want you to think about your last temptation. Not the behavior that you did. Not the, oh man, I slept with her and I didn't want to. Or I masturbated and I didn't want to. Not the act. I want you to think about the moment before the act. What were you feeling before you did it? Were you lonely? Were you stressed? Did you feel rejected? Was you bored? Like, what was it? And when you figure out what it is, don't judge it. I just want you to see it. I want you to understand what it is. I want you to put your finger on it. Because God heals what you will stop hiding and what you will bring to him. See, Jesus didn't come just to manage behavior. He came to restore hearts. Let me help you out. See, the religious leaders thought that holiness was about rules. Don't go outside and play. Can't do this on the Sabbath. Can't do that. Can't eat this. Can't sleep over there. Can't do this. They thought it was about rules. But Jesus knew that it was about healing. See, they focused on the outside and Jesus focused on the inside. For the reason that Jesus told the religious leaders this, he said that the outside of your cup is clean, but the inside is dirty. And he was talking about them, how the outside of them are clean, but their inside was dirty. Now, let me ask this. Are you tired of trying to manage your symptoms? And if you want to address what's really broken, Jesus is not offering more discipline. Jesus is offering restoration. Now, we said we was gonna go beneath the surface. Now you understand why your efforts haven't worked. Because you're treating symptoms like causes. Why the struggle keeps returning? Because the root is still there. What's really driving the behavior? It's unmet needs looking for wrong solutions. You know what they say? You're looking for love in all the wrong places. Now, again, sex isn't your first problem. It just reveals that you have a deeper problem. This week, stop fighting just the behavior. Start asking what you're really seeking. Why? And maybe if you go back to the question of what happens prior to me committing this behavior. And if you can answer that, I promise you the answer might shock you. And in your shock, the answer just might be the key to your real freedom. Next week, identity comes before desire, understanding the order that changes everything. Identity comes before the desire. But now, until then, control alone and willpower alone won't bring freedom. Healing does. And with that being said, we'll see you next week.